Alright, so this is game 4 of the Dominion 2018 Championship against Monomandan. So this is the fourth game. The current score is 2-1 for me, so I had 2 wins and my opponent had 1. This board was pretty interesting. At first I thought I could go for Fool's Gold with Farmer's Market for buys and just trying to rush the Fool's Gold, but there was a lot of good trashing, and I thought the ill-gotten gains rush with Borrow would be really good against the Fool's Gold, and alternatively the trashing route that plays gets really thin and plays a few giants every turn, or treasuries and giants, and then uses mission to kind of replay the treasuries would be really good. Will be potentially good. I felt it was too risky to go for the Fool's Gold, so I ended up going for something that's kind of flexible. You could borrow turn 1, but then you maybe only get 2 coins, and that would be, you don't want 2 coins. But for me, I forgot that you could borrow turn 2. I was like thinking, oh, you'd only borrow turn 1, and I was confusing it with the nomad camp, basically, where you open it with turn 1, and if you don't get the right thing, well, then your turn 2 sucks. But no, you can, if you don't get the right draw, you can borrow. So here I open sacrifice Farmer's Market, trying to basically trash but still having some economy so that I could buy the quarry and maybe treasury. So instead of getting the remake, for example, the remake would have been the way to get really thin. In fact, if you use borrow, you can open double remake. I didn't really think of it like that at the time. I was thinking more about getting quarry and trying to get to the 5 cost cards as fast as possible with quarry with the Farmer's Market. So I wanted to get the Farmer's Market boosted up early so that I could buy, let's say, double 5 cost relatively early in the game. So my opponent also gets a sacrifice. So here, Farmer's Market, it gets the 4 and I get the quarry. So so far things were going okay. The thing is, mission was the other thing that was really big deal for me. When I was thinking about, let's say, building a massive draw or really thin deck, and then using mission to. So here I borrow for the first treasury because I want to basically have enough coins so that I can start getting double treasury or 5 cost with if I find the quarry, and borrow helps with that too. So yeah, with mission you can basically do whatever you did twice. So you can trash faster, you can play giants fast more often. But I do get the remake because my opponent gets the ill-gotten gains. So I think maybe they're going to pivot into that rush for ill-gotten gains. So I try to react to that. The whole game I was basically thinking about reactionary. At least at the start of the game, I was thinking about being reactionary. So basically, with the treasuries, I was thinking, they're just basically they're basically just be with a small enough deck. They're still good enough that you basically have enough coin in the deck to buy provinces consistently. And here is also pretty nice because you mission, so you can set up the treasuries and you can start trashing sooner. So my opponent was also getting has had a remake. Was also getting a thin deck. Gets the IGG, but didn't commit to it. But maybe that's honestly better because I don't think the IGG would have gotten too far, because then the remakes you'll end up trashing. You'll end up catching up to the IGG and then still winning with provinces. Especially at this point, I have enough treasuries. And I could get points from Farmer's Market. So, not with 9, you could still borrow and get 10 coins, which is, I believe, what I do. So yes, I borrow and get the giant. So, giant it was a nice terminal to have, but the only village here is the inn. So, and actually a sacrifice. So as it turns out, sacrifice, the treasury is interesting fuel for sacrifice because you start off with them. I didn't think of that at the time. I felt that the treasuries would be worth keeping. But here, with the inn, you're able to set up when your deck is small enough and you can consistently get to the bottom of the deck. You can have some very nice turns with inn because you shuffle all your good actions. And at this point, with the giant and the farmer's market for buy, you could get there's good actions in the trash. So my good actions to get. So my opponent has some fool's golds, got both IGG and fool's gold at different times. So it's kind of not being too focused, but still had good trashing. It was still on top of their trashing. So, but really the in deck, I wasn't convinced about it at first, but once actually playing it, it felt good to have the draw from ins. I do get a vault because once I realized that you can start sacrificing cards, actions, and then you have the vault for draw, and it's the only way to increase hand size. So if you let's say to play in and then play vault, you wouldn't increase your hand size. But if you start sacrifice and then you play vault, then you've increased your hand size. And I actually I keep the estate because it's something to discard with for in. So basically, even every single draw, even one single draw, is helpful because of you reduces your hand size after you play it. So here I'm deciding what to keep so that I can because I want to remake my estate, or I was deciding if I want to remake my estate or remake my coppers, and go for one. But I do remake the estate. So we're actually tied here. So it's pretty. At this point, it felt pretty close. Or I was feeling the pressure here. So my opponent is actually ahead of me with the point count, but with the sacrifice actually being able to act as a village, and with the vault as draw, and the giant being able to swing, and the plus buy things, and the mission. So here, this turn, I actually get enough to buy province and mission. And with the mission, so my opponent had fool's gold in hand that turn. So with the mission, that means I can re-top deck my treasuries, so that I'll be basically set up again to get another good turn of the next turn. So yeah, the quarry wasn't serving. The quarry had outlived its usefulness at that point. But so turning into a 5 cost, I was considering turning into an IGG to curse and change the victory split, but the point split by the duchy is just worth more points, and if it comes down to like 1 point, you'll be happy to have the duchy, and it's near the end of the game, so the curses weren't going to matter. So again, with having the treasures at the beginning of the turn means that sacrifice has something good, convenient to trash for the village effect. Well, it's village effect, we'll say. So my opponent has either 2 or 3 fool's goals. I don't remember if they trash one. So with the extra duchy, I do have the points from Farmer's Market. I did have a bit of a point lead here. So yeah, interesting with this game is after playing this whole series of games, I asked for advice on this board, and it turns out you can make a really mean deck by just playing 2 or 3 giants each turn with in for draw. So I do end up having enough coin for the last province here, and that will seal this game. So thanks for watching.